It is actually the moment I decided to start YouTube and to start this series, was when I realized how messed up body image is. But still, those minor comments can make a big impact. Hi, welcome back to my The Skin You're In series. My name is Ashley and I suppose I'm your host. Sounds weird to say, but obviously you clicked on this video so you kind of know what it's about. But basically I danced for 13 years, from 4 to 17, and I danced at the same studio with basically the same girls for that whole time. And so today I'm going to be talking about how dance affected my view on my body and body image, I think, as a whole. So let's just get into it. That's what you're here for. Dance is good for a lot of reasons. It builds confidence, teamwork, flexibility, maybe for other people, discipline and coordination. But positive body image is not one. You are constantly surrounded by girls who are smaller than you in leotards and tights. You can see their figure, there's nothing hiding. And they are constantly smaller than you. All the time. You are constantly pushing your body to its limits and getting angry at it for not doing what you want it or need it to do. And you have to look at yourself in the mirror all the time to see what you're doing wrong and what your body is doing wrong. So you're just staring at the imperfections in the mirror, basically. So I wanted to give some examples on what I did and what I noticed and just my observations from my time as a dancer. One of the first things I suppose I noticed is comparing. So not only do you see all those people that are smaller than you, but I compared myself with them. You know, especially because the girls who were smaller than me happened to be a lot better dancers, and I think that there's a correlation there where you kind of go down on yourself and be like, maybe I'd be better if I was skinnier, but obviously it's not true, but that's kind of where your head's at, I think, as a child in that moment. This is one thing that really, really impacted me. If you saw my original The Skin You're In video, or even just now, basically you know that I've never been skinny. I've always had a little bit of chub on me, a little bit of extra fat, coating, you know, love handles, whatever you want to call them. And so when I was dancing, and you know, you're dancing, and when I'm looking in the mirror and you can see my ribs, like they were coming out in my dancing, I always really enjoyed it because it meant that I couldn't be that fat because you can see my ribs while I'm dancing. And a couple of years ago, one of my friends that I dance with posted on her Instagram story a video of her dancing, and she commented, like she said in the video that she doesn't usually post videos of her dancing because she's really self-conscious about her body because you can see her ribs while dancing. And just the difference, the fact that I was so happy when you could see my ribs, and she doesn't feel confident sharing what she loves to do because you can, sucks. Like, that is terrible, and that is actually the moment I decided to start YouTube and to start this series, was when I realized how messed up body image is and how desperately we need good representation, and to find the root of all of it, not just to preach about it. Anyways, to the next one. Whenever I talk about my friend, the dance friends that I still talk to, whenever we come up with body image, this one example comes to us every single time, because I think it is one of the biggest impacts it had on all of us, even though it didn't happen to us, like the ones that we're talking about. We were in probably ballet. It was probably after a break. So oftentimes, like, we had like 4 hours, or we had 3 classes and they're just like an hour each, but you have like one class at 4 and then like you have a break from 5 to 6. You have a break, right? Before your next class. And so people would eat because you might be there until 8:30 at night and you don't want to eat after 8:30. So you'd have a break. And so we got into our class, and our dance teacher, who I've known since I was 4, and I had until it left, told one of the dancers, like one of the girls in our class, that she could, quote, see her lunch. And my first thought is always, well, no shit. Like, that's how the body works. But I think what she meant to say, because if you're a dancer, if you've done any kind of ballet, you know that you have to hold your tummy, right? You want to hold your core, right? I'm doing it right now. I'm like, nah, ballet. But it's like, you got to hold your core. Oh, that hurts. Anyways, but holding your abs and holding your core is really important in ballet. And I think the point she was trying to make is that she needed to hold her tummy a bit more, like hold her abs a bit stronger, but she made it a comment on a child's body. And I think it really stuck with all of us, at least the ones that I talked to. I haven't talked to that girl about it, and I haven't talked to other people in that class, but at least for the couple of, from me and from my friends, it really stuck with us, because you shouldn't talk to kids like that. And this teacher would often braid these students, not us, and I don't know whether that's just because we weren't her favourite, like because we weren't as good. We were like very average dancers, like me, and like we were very similar skill level, and they were a lot better, and they would constantly be berated for eating pasta for dinner and having like fatty foods, I suppose. And it was hard to watch, because you're like, so what if they had pasta? They deserve it. And why do you care? You know, like, it doesn't affect their dancing. Having pasta for dinner does not affect the way you dance, because your stomach and your abdominals are not the same thing. So I just think it was, yeah, that's the whole thing. But I mean, it's very minor, because it's obviously minor in terms of minor comments, but still those minor comments can make a big impact. They were not even aimed at me, and they still made an impact on me. So minor comments can go a long way. I think it's really important for teachers to understand the impact that their comments have on their students. I know for a fact that a lot of young girls, especially dancers, struggle with food and struggle with their relationship with food. And if you tell them that what they're eating is bad, their relationship's going to get worse, not better. And there's different, if you really care about what they're eating in terms of nutrition, you can say it differently. You can put it in a much nicer way, because the way it's being said is not okay, from my experience. On that, so I found out after I left dancing, so like a year after I left, or so, or 6 months even, that there was a pact going on amongst the, like, not my group, but like just the grade below me in dance. So they're all a few years younger than me, but like in dancing they were like the grade below, about like a starvation pact, which I mentioned on a much earlier video. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my god, what are these girls doing? And it's real. It's people that I know, that I danced with, are doing that to themselves and to each other. They're making it a community, which sucks. And I hope those girls have not continued that, and I really hope that they found a way out. I don't know, but I hope. I'll always hope. Which kind of leads me into my next example, which is when I was a lot younger and my family comes to watch me dance. My aunt once commented on one of the girls I danced with body. And she said that she looked anorexic. And at the time, I was super, super defensive. And I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, she's just built that way. Like, she's not anorexic. Like, she's just fit and skinny, because I think in my mind I couldn't conceptualize, I suppose, someone that I knew having such a bad eating disorder. But also, she was saying something bad about a body that I kind of wish I had. And so it's kind of a double poke there, like, I wanted her body, and so talking negatively about someone else's body, even if it is unhealthy, was hard for my mind to grasp. And then I just want to say here that now, I don't know if she was anorexic then, and I don't know if she's anorexic now. Honestly, I don't know her relationship to food at all, but I know that her genes, like her genetics, are definitely tall and skinny. That's just the genes she has. She can't control her bones, like where her bones grow and all of that. So I can't tell you whether she's anorexic then. And I don't know, maybe she was. Maybe she wasn't. I don't know, but I just know that those comments happened. I don't know how frequently they happened, but they definitely happened enough for me to remember it. And the fact that I still remember it, it had to be years and years ago, and I still remember it. It had a lasting impact on me, because comments on people's bodies, whether they are your own or others, stick. And I think people have to be really mindful and careful about what they say in front of children and adults, just people, because so many of the things I'm saying now are nothing that was commented at me. They were all commented on other people. I am glad and I am very grateful that I didn't come out of dancing the other side of dancing with body dysmorphia or with severe body issues. But I look back at myself now when I was 14 and cannot believe how skinny I was. Because I don't remember in that time believing I was small. I thought I was so large just because I happened to be bigger than the girls I was dancing with. But I couldn't appreciate that we are not the same. Their builds are different to me. Our genetics are different. I will never be as skinny as them because we are not built the same. We are not the same. And I know that now, and I can appreciate it now. It's still hard for me, I think, to not judge myself. It just sucks that even though I didn't come out with bad body image or severe body image, I know others did, and I know others still struggle with it badly. As much as I'm grateful that I've been okay and that none of these comments or none of these bad things ever really happened to me, that doesn't mean that they didn't affect me, because all of these happened so long ago, and so all of them are offhanded comments. One line in one of the many classes I did a week out of a whole year, and I remember them, and they weren't even directed at me. So I'm going to finish this video with exactly how I started it, which is dance is great for many things, but I have never had a positive experience with body image through the world of dance. Hopefully we can change that with you and me and the community of people. Hopefully we can start to change the minds of young dancers and everyone, but for this particular video in particular, dancers. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this opened your eyes or mind a little bit, and I urge you to think about what you say the next time you go to say something. You have no idea what a lasting impact it might have on whoever you were talking to. Bye.